3 is the time. A very pleasant good morning to those who are now joining us and those who have been with us from the wee hours of the morning. I want to thank you for being there. And remember, whatever you do or say today, whether you agree or you disagree vehemently on the matter of point, be it family, social, religious, or political, to do it in love, because love is God, love is of God, and love conquers all. Ladies, remember to keep sugar jealous. And remember to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Bad investments. Bad investments. It is Kenny Rogers who said in his song, "You have to know when to hold up." It's from an album called The Gambler. Investments should be treated as a gamble, and in many ways they are. In many ways they are. That's why studies are done to allow the viability of the project to determine how you invest and when you invest. Even when a project is social in its very nature and is necessary to serve a nation, when it's super necessary, you still do studies to look at the impact of the particular project. Because those projects wouldn't necessarily be projects of profiteering, but it's a service to the people that is necessary for survival. This ULP administration is hell-bent on taking the NIS pensioners' retirement savings and buying equity into a hotel at Diamond. This is an abuse of power and reckless, to say the least, because it is pensioners' money. It is not a tax that is in the coffers of government. It is a special fund that is contributed both by employers and by the employee. The workers pay monies into the system. The employers by law have to pay their portion so that down the road, when people are of age and can't work anymore, they can live and survive. I have always maintained that if the government wants to invest, that's their prerogative. But NIS is not government monies. I repeat, it's not a tax. It's not tax monies, it's pensioners' monies. Government is the steward of the NIS monies, they're the caretaker. Why, like the proposed hotel at Mount Win, they are borrowing the monies from an external source? In that very same way, the government owns the loan and is totally responsible, because it is their decision to borrow that money to invest in a hotel at Mount Win. But when it comes to the NIS monies, you are taking the retirement savings and gambling for the pensioners without their permission. If the government wants to build a hotel using NIS money, then borrow the money from NIS. Take the responsibility and borrow it at a rate of return that is reasonable to both government and the pensioners, so that nobody loses. But government must take the responsibility. This NIS is saddled already with social programs because the ULP government has created a high, unprecedented rate of unemployment of over 46%. This NIS is going to raise the rate of contributions, further pressuring employers and stagnating employment growth, and in consideration that the ULP has destroyed the productive sectors of the country, this will prove to be a burden on taxpayers down the road and contributors to the fund. Let's take a look at the hotel industry. It is under severe pressure. The investments are huge. The payback periods are extremely long. And at this time of COVID-19, the industry is struggling to stay alive. Read, research, look at the forecast for the tourism industry all over the world. St. Vincent is no different. If it were not for persons coming home and elections where 242 persons were paid to come back home to vote, the hotels would have been empty due to COVID. The cost of quarantine is more expensive than the airfare out of the USA. I travel a lot, so I could tell you. The average return ticket to St. Vincent is $454 US. And sometimes it can be as low as $350. Depends on when you buy, how you buy, and where you buy. The forecast for the industry is dismal. And until travel is fairly safe and people feel comfortable and mandatory quarantine is removed, hotel investments with pensioners' money needs to be revisited without political ego. Let good sense prevail before pensioners who are approaching retirement would have to wait until 65 or 67 before they can receive their survival money. When these politicians have amassed riches for themselves and could do what they feel like when they leave the political platform and live well, the masses still will be catching hell. So don't make bad investments at this time. It's not too late to hold up, to revisit. Fix the productive sector first. Start generating some money, because all we are doing right now, even the government is getting handout so that they could hand out to the people of this country. And until we have a productive sector, hold up. You have to know when to hold up. It is my plea to the government, because one of these days, things will come to naught. I'm not preaching doom and gloom. I'm saying to be reasonable based on what is out there before us. COVID ain't going nowhere for a while.